Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to study about graphs. Graphs are of 4 marks and sometimes it is of 5 marks as well. So when it is of 5 marks, we are going to see after a short while. Okay, so there are three different types of graphical representation of any data: line graph, bar graph, and histogram. This is called line graph. This is bar graph and this is histogram. What is the difference between bar graph and histogram? In case of bar graph, each bar should be of equal width and all the bars should be separated. Whereas in case of histogram, the data is provided in such a way that all the bars are joined, therefore a histogram is formed. We don't need to tweak the data in case of biology. Okay, so how all type of graphs are going to be plotted? We need to choose a simple scale which uses most of the grid provided on the exam paper. Use x-axis for independent variable. Mostly independent variable is located on the first column of the table, and y-axis for the dependent variable. Now, what is the difference between dependent and independent variable? Dependent variable is effect, whereas independent variable is cause. For example, if we want to investigate the effect of varying light intensity on the rate of photosynthesis, so what is independent variable? Our independent variable is varying light intensity. And what is our dependent variable? Our dependent variable is rate of photosynthesis. So independent variable is will always be on x-axis. So light intensity will be on x-axis along with the unit if any unit is provided, whereas rate of photosynthesis will be on y-axis. Again, if any unit is provided, then you need to write down the unit. Okay. Now label the axis fully, including the unit, and it should be linear. Now, what does it mean? The meaning of linear means you need to write down 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You cannot write in this way 1, then 3, then 4, then 5. Okay. So scale should be linear. Wait. So scale should be linear. For example, it should be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it should be like that. Okay. Now, plots all the points carefully and more than 50% of the space should be occupied. So whatever the grid is provided, you need to occupy it's more than 50%. Okay, so whether it is a bar graph, whether it's a histogram, so all these points should be should be same. That is, the independent variable will always be located on x-axis, independent variable will always be located on y-axis. Always choose a simple axis that will cover more than 50% of the space which is provided. Okay. Now, in the case of line graph, if there is more than one set of data, then label each curve to show what it represents. For example, if on the same graph, if you are going to present more than one data, then you need to label both the line. For example, if this line is for cat, then you need to label it as cat. And if this line is for dog, then you need to label it as dog. Otherwise, you will lose 1 mark. Do not extrapolate. What is the meaning of extrapolation? Extrapolation means you cannot extend beyond the beyond your plot line. जो भी आपकी plotted line है उससे beyond आप extend नहीं कर सकते. Now join successive points with ruled straight line unless clearly stated otherwise. If no specification is provided, then you need to join all the plots using a straight line. So what is the mnemonic for graph? Slab. Slab S means size covering at least half of the grid. L means joining the plots with continuous line. A means axis along with the unit. P means plotting of the points correctly. Now, what is the rules for taking scale? Because sometimes most of the students they find it difficult to take the scale. So, what is the rule for taking scale? Find max of the value, round it, divide by the total number of big squares, and then pick easy number. So let's look at it. So what is the maximum number? Maximum number in this x-axis is 1.6. So we need to round it. We will round it to 2. Okay. So in x-axis, in this graph, which is provided in this grid, which is provided by the examiner, how many big squares are present? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. Okay. So 4 times 2 is equals to 8. So 8 big squares are present. 8 big squares means one big square contains 5 small squares. Okay. So 8 big squares are present. So we need to divide 2 with 8. When we are going to divide the maximum value, we are going to round it and divide it with the total number of a square. So we are going to get 1 upon 4. 1 upon 4 means 0.2. So each big square should be of 0.2. So zero point 0.2, zero point 0.4, we need to take a difference of 0.2. 0.6, zero point 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. So all the values are plotted linearly on the graph, on the x-axis. So, and on the x-axis, the independent variable should lie. So, percentage concentration of the pectinase solution should be on the x-axis, whereas volume per cubic centimeter should be located on y-axis. Now, same should be done on the y-axis. That is, we have the maximum value is 22. So we are going to take, we can take 22 or we can round it off to 25 and then divide it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Divide 25 with 12. So by that we can find out um, the value which we need to plot or the difference that we need to plot. Okay.